Have you ever stopped to think that most relationships, whether personal or professional, play out like a mental chess game? Often, what seems like just a casual interaction is actually being shaped by invisible psychological forces. What if I told you that you could turn the game in your favor, effortlessly, using the psychology of conquest strategically? I'm not talking about blatant manipulation or shallow tricks, but a deep understanding of the human mind that can produce results that seem almost magical. Believe me, once you learn to control someone's emotional dynamics, you no longer need to fight to get what you want. It's all a game of perception, where you use emotional control as a silent weapon, without the other person even realizing it. Want to know how? The secret lies in understanding what's happening behind the scenes in their mind and using that to your advantage, creating a conquest that's not only quick but also lasting. Let's explore how, with just a few subtle adjustments in your actions and thoughts, you can completely change the rules of the game. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like something hard to achieve. But what if I told you the key to this kind of conquest lies in simple strategies that anyone can apply? If you want to discover how to turn things in your favor without physical effort or pushing too hard, you've come to the right place. When it comes to conquering someone, or even something, understanding the psychology behind human behavior is crucial. The human mind is a fertile ground where emotions, desires, and motivations intertwine in ways that can be exploited if you know how to direct actions and intentions. Imagine that, by learning to read these signals, you begin to notice how people react to certain emotional or psychological stimuli. It's not magic, it's the strategic application of manipulation techniques that work when used with intelligence. Once you enter the world of the psychology of conquest, you'll realize that everything around you becomes an opportunity to influence and conquer. There's something fascinating about how small actions can lead to big results. For example, imagine yourself in a conversation where the other person is showing resistance. Instead of pushing directly, you take a more subtle approach, perhaps with a question that provokes reflection. By manipulating the flow of the interaction, you gain control without the other person realizing they're being guided. The art of conquest isn't about forcing the situation. It's about creating an environment where the person feels drawn to your ideas or your presence, almost effortlessly. The strategy is in understanding that, by making small adjustments in your communication, you change the other person's perception of you or the situation. This process of transformation, conquering with finesse, is deeply tied to controlling the dynamic between people. The psychology behind conquest allows you to manage the interaction, ensuring that instead of being a victim of manipulation, you are the architect of your own experiences. Conquest isn't about dominating the other person, but creating a strategy where both parties win, one way or another. By doing this, you open doors to new paths that were previously blocked, all through a deeper understanding of human motivations. Now, are you ready to learn how to apply these ideas practically and effectively? Let's move on to the next step and dive deeper into this. Manipulation, often seen with a negative connotation, is actually a powerful tool when applied ethically. Instead of thinking of it as something dark, think of manipulation as the skill to subtly influence behavior, guiding people's actions to a place where everyone benefits. The key here is in strategy, not the abuse of control. When you understand the psychology of conquest, you realize that manipulation isn't about forcing something, but about shaping the path in a way that creates a favorable environment for both parties. It's a game of subtlety, where those who know how to apply this art move ahead. For example, in a professional relationship, you can use manipulation to align interests so everyone works together to achieve the same goal. Imagine a team manager who, by understanding the motivations of their team members, is able to influence their choices without appearing to push too hard. The key is promoting open communication and creating an atmosphere where everyone feels valued, while still maintaining control of the situation. In this scenario, manipulation becomes a leadership tool that fosters collective progress. However, it's essential that this manipulation doesn't turn into an abuse of power. The line between ethical manipulation and negative manipulation is thin, and the most important thing is to always keep in mind that strategy should be used for the common good. When you begin to notice the small manipulations that happen in everyday life, like a friend who, without intending harm, convinces you to go to an event with them, you realize that we all, to some degree, use this skill. And if you know how to use it with a greater purpose, it can become a tool for conquering not just people, but also situations. Now, have you stopped to think about how you can apply this type of manipulation to achieve your own goals ethically? Control is one of the most powerful keys to conquest, whether in personal or professional settings. However, controlling doesn't mean dominating or suppressing the other's freedom. It's about knowing how to direct interactions strategically. The psychology of conquest teaches us that the one who controls the situation can shape it to their advantage, without it seeming forced. Often, the secret lies in exercising control that feels natural, almost invisible, making the other person not realize they are being influenced. This is the game of those who understand human dynamics and know how to use this power discreetly. For example, in a negotiation process, the person who controls the conversation knows when to advance, when to pull back, and when to introduce an idea that, without rushing, will win the other person over. The secret lies in having patience and timing, knowing the exact moment to act. Imagine you're dealing with a tense situation and you have control of the conversation, knowing exactly how and when to change the direction of a topic. Instead of getting lost in arguments, you shape the conversation in such a way that the other person reaches the conclusion you want, without even realizing it. That's control. It's not about imposing your will, but about the ability to guide actions strategically. By understanding that control can be exercised subtly, you begin to see how it can generate lasting results. Effective control not only creates a favorable environment, but also promotes trust and respect, two essential pillars for long-term conquest. Now, by applying this control with intelligence, you'll be shaping not just the present, but also preparing the ground for future successes. And this raises an important question. How can you apply this control ethically and strategically in your personal and professional life to achieve more success? Have you ever thought about having the woman you want just through text messages? There's a secret that all women keep to themselves, a mental trigger that gets activated in their minds when you send certain specific messages. I teach all of this in an ebook, which I'm giving away in the first pinned comment on this video. It's not free because I worked hard to create it, almost free, priced ridiculously low, cheaper than a snack. Go ahead and grab your gift. Have you stopped to reflect on the power you hold in your hands to change the course of your interactions and achievements? Are you ready to apply the strategies we've discussed and turn the game in your favor? The key to a more strategic and controlled life is in your hands. You just need to start using the tools that the psychology of conquest offers. How can you start applying what you've learned here today to achieve your goals effortlessly with more control? But before we move forward, I want to know, what's stopping you from applying these strategies in your life right now? What are you waiting for to take control? Leave your thoughts in the comments and share your experiences. And if you want to keep learning, applying these techniques, and turning the game in your favor at every step, don't waste any more time. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay one step ahead, ready to conquer what you truly desire. And have you ever thought about making her miss you every day? It's really simple. I've taught you how to do this with a few easy steps in the video right here on your screen. Click on it, and I'll see you there.